now you've already seen how those variables. So we're talking about accounting framework here. It works, you know. The level of equilibrium of national income, especially when foreign transactions account for a high proportion of GDP. So that's again, we didn't have a chance this morning to go into the contribution of the foreign side. Again, if we have time, I have something for you to try your hand. We could do that because that's the beauty of this accounting framework. When you're doing analyzing your data, you could come up with some very nice conclusions. So what is it really contributing? And this morning, if we had time, we would have gone, maybe the analyst would have done a bit more to say, well, this was my national savings. You did all the computation, but you didn't have time to analyze it a bit. So you did your national savings, your domestic savings, then you had your investment, but there was a line which says that, look at savings net of investment. Remember? There was some item. Yes. So to sometimes reflect how much do you rely on external sources to increase your investment. Remember this morning again when we were talking about Nigeria, I was telling you that the investment may not be enough. But because maybe the level of savings is not that high, but there could be a possibility whereby you can boost the level of investment just through the external sector, right? You should be able to get, like I said, the diasporas, the others coming in, and suddenly you're getting a lot of foreign capital, but you with good capital. Like I said, and the best capital that for me, if I categorize capital from outside, the worst one would be the portfolio flows. Those flows that they come and invest into your stock exchange or whatever it is. These ones they can come into. The best one for me is FDI. You know what is FDI? Foreign direct investment. Because by definition, we have a definition here for foreign direct investment. They normally bring money with the idea of investing into some viable projects. And in fact, by definition, it has to be about 10%. Some take, and because with that money they bring the know-how, the technology, and they are serious. When they bring that type of money, they're not going to disappear. Remember my story about dancing near in the club near the door and then disappear because they are serious because they are coming with a project. So when you come with a project, they will ensure that the project is viable, is going to be there. Obviously, sometimes they come because the government might have created a window, tax holiday. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
Many countries have put tax holiday in order to attract foreigners. Mauritius also used to do that in the 70s, 80s. And but the danger of tax holiday is that it is finite. So 5 years and then the tax holiday disappears. So the dangers with foreign direct investment, I think, is very good. But it could happen. So again, our famous model here, so which is when I use the 4 sector. So you see the foreign sector here, okay? So I'll put it here for you to remember again what it is. So you have the foreign sector, foreign trade, export, import of goods and services. Inflows and outflows of capital is also included here. Export is make goods and services flow out of the country, make foreign exchange flow in the country. So goods go out, foreign exchange come in. Okay? The more you export, the more you get foreign exchange. Okay? So that's the good market and then the financial flow. Product flow, financial flow. Imports, goods and services flow in the country. So you're happy to receive some very nice shirt from London or from the US, but then you have to pay for that. So you have to pay for that. The more you get excited about foreign goods, the more you're paying and the more money is going out. So the danger of buying designer goods made by, I don't know, those French couture, whatever it's called, at 500, 1,000 pounds or dollars, you are making Nigeria poorer in terms of its balance of payments. Just be aware. Obviously, exports of labor by household bring in foreign remittances. That's reason, right? Remittance. The effect of foreign trade depends on trade balance. If exports greater than import, inflow of foreign income increases central trade. So that income available for you to work with gets bigger or gets smaller, depending on which is bigger. Import or export. So our famous equations come in again. So you can see gradually we are all going through all of them.
Yes.
So the foreign sector exports, imports of goods, inflows, outflows of capital, effects of foreign trade, depends on what I just said, net export. So NX now, you can get it, it's defined for you. If export is greater than import, inflows of foreign income increases separate from income, which I've just mentioned. So again, our famous consumption, investment, government expenditure, net export, meaning import or export minus import. So every time I'm coming to that, so by which time now, by Friday, it should be like in your mind, you should know it already. Every time you see it, you should remember all of them. Okay? So nothing complicated. And you can see here, the external sector. And all those flows are pretty straightforward. That's the definition now. So I'll give you a few definitions. The BOP, the balance of payment manual. That's another Bible. Sometimes in our world of economic analysis, we have too many Bibles. Usually there's only one. But in our jargon here, there are many. I can list you out if you, every sector has its own Bible, has its own manual. And we swear by that. So the balance of payment manual is the one document that is used for computation of balance of payment. In the same way that the system of national account is the one that is used for computing your national account. In the same way that the GFS, the finance statistics, those details that you find on your budget, these are coming from the GFS manual. Okay? So what do you see here? A BOP is a statistical statement that systematically summarizes for a specific time period, always time period. For which period? The economic transactions of an economy with the rest of the world. So transactions with the rest of the world. And the transactions can take the following form: between residents and non-residents. You know, in the jargon nowadays, there is even a definition of what a resident and non-resident means. Right? It's very clear. Sometimes there are one thing is about resident. The second thing is about center of economic activity. These are definitions that are used. And it's used in Nigeria as well. So whenever you are looking at your transactions in terms of BOP, is that transaction by a resident or non-resident? So you have to determine whether you are a resident or non-resident. When it comes to, for example, investing into your bonds or investing into your stock exchange, there also, they would like to know, who has bought my equity? Who has bought my bond? Is it a resident or is it a non-resident? And there, the residency comes in terms of not where you are staying, but where is your center of economic activity, which is different from saying, I have a house in London. It's where my center of economic activity is working. So there are definitions there, right? Center of activity is where am I operating. That is why, for example, if a company comes to Nigeria and they have incorporated themselves here, despite the fact that the ownership could be elsewhere, they might technically be enjoying local residency status. Right? So all that is well defined. I just wanted to highlight to you, it's not about resident because the way that we fill the form. I'm a resident, I'm a resident. It has some very technical explanation.
I'm checking your resources at the end of it. When you want to put source, when it comes to Nigerian authorities, then and you are specific, you say IMF. I'm saying that whether you could share that Nigerian authorities either with us or with our admin head later.
Well, the Nigerian authorities, which is there, not me, it's you. This report has been shared with you.
Okay.
Yeah. These reports are your reports.
These are your reports that the international organizations took the data and they reorganize it and report it. It's the same way that we take information from Accountant General, from MDS also, and structure it to report to the Parliament.
The IMF always, World Bank, most international community, when they will come to you, they will exactly do what Mr. Nazer said. They will discuss with you. Sometimes they might make comment about something. I think on few items they adjusted in Washington, but a lot of that raw data is coming from you. So that is why when you say authorities, Because it's so many sources in Nigeria, they can't list them out. The Statistical Department, the Central Bank of Nigeria, then individually maybe they've gone to specific sectoral ministries. So they just end up saying national. So for them, that's it. End of story. And then somewhere you would say, fund estimate. That means that they're not happy with your data. They've made their own estimate. They do that as well.